people tell me that I'm not necessarily hard to read, but that I don't express a lot. Yes. But it doesn't mean I don't feel a lot. And I think one of the hardest things about being on this journey is like how much pain and empathy and love that you can feel. It's weird because like it's very much a journey towards love, like very much. At least in my opinion, right? Like everything I say is going to be in my opinion unless I state otherwise. FYI. And it could be entirely in my head. It could be my ego doing whatever my ego thinks it should be doing to convince me that I'm not aware and conscious. And to go back to the familiar comfort, all that stuff. Which still happens a lot. But the experience is real for me nonetheless. I see someone I care about, and I can just sense they're not okay, and they're hurting. And then it could be confirmation bias. Like I'll see evidence for that. I try not to judge, right? Like that's something I've been working on a lot. But we have all these social conditioning around like when someone behaves like this, and to project tone of voice onto written text, which can lead to a judgment without you realizing that you're doing a judgment, because who's picking the tone of voice? An unconscious program, right? So as you become more aware, like all of this gets more obvious, and you begin to catch it, which is great, but it also shows you, oh, there's stuff here. And that's challenging at times. And there's two people in particular that I was thinking about that might be fine. The one I'm pretty sure isn't, but the other one may genuinely be fine. I haven't pressed. I've probed very gently. Haven't pressed. And I got when I was thinking about this, I was on the verge of tears. Like, I'll be honest, I had tears well up, and I went, oh, okay, this is what I need to share. This is what the first video is going to be. Because one, I'll probably cry. I haven't yet, but it's possible. It happens. And recording that and being that vulnerable, and also just going straight to camera like this, not having prepared anything and just completely going off intuition, is all kinds of terrifying. But also, I've had enough experience now to be able to trust that. I've had a lot of things happen that I've recorded in my grimoire, my journal, spell book, so to speak. And it's uncanny. It's bizarre. It's not what you would necessarily think of as magic, but it totally is. I have a great definition for magic, which I'll share. It's not coming to me right now, so I'm not telling you right now, but I will share it. And I think, in essence, using intention to shape reality. And some people will go, oh, well, what's industry, right? Like someone has an intention to create automation, and we know that going back thousands of years, people will automate and optimize things. They'll find better ways of doing things. Sure, great. Yes, you could call that magic, and I don't want to misquote, as in provide the wrong author. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke. A sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, I have no doubt if you took a cell phone back into the Stone Age and showed how you could record a video like I'm doing right now and then play it back, you would be immediately clubbed to death or idolized. And I wouldn't roll dice on that one. But most people have a general idea that this is a computer with a video camera and something that saves it. And that's what the GBs is. I can't believe I just said that. Okay, moving on. Yeah. And at the same time, there's a whole nother side to existence. A whole nother side. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's incredible what humans, consciousness, are doing and have done in this space-time experience. But it's so small compared to everything else. Just even compared to what it is made of, it's just it kind of doesn't matter in comparison. And if you're a fan of Abraham Hicks, right? Esther Abraham. Abraham refers to it as the power that creates worlds. And I superficially got that for a while. Like, it made sense logically. Sure, I'm consciousness. I'm effectively a god having a human experience. That makes sense. But not, right? Like, no. But now, absolutely knowing the risk of sounding like I have delusions of grandeur, I actually think that is more accurate, and that we all are, and we are all one. And so when these people are hurting, if I tune in, I'll put it that way, it's not necessarily conscious. Tonight it was, which was interesting. Yeah, there was a very clear thought of, I wonder how she's feeling And then I kind of had a wave of turmoil, such intense mixture of feelings that I won't go into, and a somewhat genuine, no, somewhat like a genuine, somewhat as an amount, so like a not insignificant amount of something in the vicinity of gratitude, peace, calm, something like that. And then I thought about the other person, and I guess because I was in the empathetic train, I got hit with some of that. And as a parent, it's really hard to watch a kid learn a hard lesson. Like, it's really hard. And I think our job as parents largely is to try and avoid that. But when you are asleep, so to speak, when you're not conscious, you're running around in a heightened state, fight or flight, freeze fawn, and don't even know it, and you're raising kids. You can't not screw up, let's be honest, and create trauma. Like, you just can't. Like, hurt people. The trauma left undealt will create more. It will fester. And sometimes it's not major, but it's still an impact. And when you work closely with people who you share very deep values with and transformative experiences, when you see them suffering because of their own stories, and you can see how close they are to breaking it, like, just look to the left and you'll see it close. So it's a journey, but the magic is real. It's very very real, and we've all been lied to, willingly, very willingly, and depending on the lie, somewhat by necessity. The draft of forgetfulness, for example. I'm gonna wrap this up here, coming up to 15 minutes. Thank you if anyone watches this. Thanks for giving me your attention to this point. I've decided just to record this for me. So yeah, that's gonna come with a warning. I merge, blend, borrow. I will see things from different angles. I'll take in different points of view. And when I find myself in I call them stories, some people call them loops, some people call them creations. I also call them spells, which I may switch to using more. So when I find myself in a spell and I don't like what it's creating, I will do my best to get out of that. I'm not stating anything here as a abject truth. To me, some things are. I take them as a fundamental assumption, and everybody does that. Anyone who says they don't, even scientists, hardcore scientists, they make fundamental assumptions. They have to, otherwise the math doesn't, things don't work properly. They're very well argumented and probably founded assumptions. Yeah. Anyway, I will tangent. I will try to come at these with something that is meaningful first and foremost to me. So if you find meaning in that, that's fantastic. If you find it useful, that's fantastic. If it causes you to question, great. If it aggravates you, if you find yourself going into what I call red, from one of my mentors, a wonderful woman, so a negative emotional state in the it doesn't feel good sense, there's something there for you. It's a gift. You're welcome. Feel free to reach out, and I would genuinely love to know what triggers you, what caused you to have an emotional reaction strong enough to reach out. That would be good to know. And then I will just be me, so you will probably be met with possibly silence depending on what you say, but also love and respect and just like a it might, it sounds like you're hurting kind of response. So, do with that what you will. And this is going to be a fun ride. Oh, yeah, this is okay. Cool. Here we go. See you in the next one.